The military crackdown was swift and brutal. It spared no one, not even the monks. Thousands of people were arrested during the nighttime curfews, and the streets were finally under the control of the military. We used secret cameras to record what was happening. To avoid detection, you constantly changed hats and shirts, never stayed too long in one place, and always checked to see if you were being followed. A few people have said to me here that these protests are not yet finished. A monk told me that, and some young people. But you get the feeling that perhaps it's almost all over, for now anyway. With the visit of Mr. Gambari, it gave them some kind of hope, and they want to make a demonstration, but the stranglehold by the police and the military is so restricting that it's very difficult for anyone to move about, let alone gather en masse in the kind of numbers that we've seen in the past few days. It's a very difficult situation now. People are talking about spies everywhere. They're worried to be seen with a foreigner. They're very concerned about what's going to happen. But still, the hardy few still say they're prepared to brave the bullets and the batons. We'll have to see. The army is in control of all the main shrines and monasteries. Few monks could be seen on the streets. Hard to imagine in a city where there are something like 75,000 monks. You think protests are finished now? Or you think they will happen again?
Don't like our government. We don't have a strength. We don't have a weapon. We don't have a freedom.
Soldiers and police are reviled here, despised by many civilians for being the tool of the military junta, which deprives them of basic human rights. You wonder how there can ever be reconciliation here. The dire social and economic problems which plague this once prosperous country and which provoked the first demonstrations still exist, visible, prominent, affecting millions of people.
There are a lot of people in this country that need humanitarian assistance, that is for sure. The statistics in terms of malnutrition are worrisome. The formal numbers suggest malnutrition rates broadly of around about 35%. We know that it's actually much more severe in a number of localities. So I think that we're scraping the surface actually in terms of need.
Myanmar spends less on health and education per person than any other country in the world apart from North Korea. It's quite amazing here. We're in what used to be a capital city. This is not even in the suburbs, it's a short way from the city centre. And you've got some abject poverty and very, very basic conditions here, but even so, all the people here seem to smile. They seem to be kind of happy. I wouldn't say content, but there is a gentleness about these people which makes the situation around here even more difficult to comprehend, and it makes you a little bit angry, I suppose, seeing how they live and how difficult things are. They want the basic fundamental rights that many people in the world enjoy, and it's been denied to them for so long, and probably will be denied to them for longer as well. Everywhere you turn there is poverty and hardship here, but not for everyone. So just trying to film some big, modern, luxurious houses. It's such a contrast to what I've been seeing around the city in Yangon. The slums, the poverty, poor conditions, no sanitation. This is really something special. Kind of wonder seeing those workmen on the construction site and how much they're getting in comparison to the people who own those houses, or going to own those houses. Something like that probably would cost about $300,000-400,000, which is an awful lot of money in this country where the average wage is something like $1, $1.50 a day, and that's if you're lucky enough to work. There's very high unemployment here. No figures, no statistics, because the government doesn't release them, but there's a lot of people without work, a lot of people in need of help, a lot of people suffering hardship here. A climate of fear invades everything here. People are being detained in a number of centres in Yangon, including here at Insane Prison. Many I spoke to feel the treatment of the monks may, in the end, turn out to be the general's biggest mistake.
Do you know where are they, monks?
They are in the prison. Yeah, they kill the monks. They are very cruel. No?
Is this the worst they've done?
No, worst in the world.
Not good, huh? It's now finished, protest finished?
No. We never forget.
Never forget.
We never surrender.
Who knows how many have been killed and imprisoned? We may never know.
It's very difficult to have a precise number. The authorities aren't putting out any press releases. They did admit to 10 dead, but most people suspect that there's far more than that have been killed. In terms of arrest, I'm sure it's in the thousands by now. These arrests started in late August, and from what we understand, every night after curfew, they start traveling around the city and picking up more people.
Barbed wire barricades are still around the city and across the road leading to the home of Aung San Suu Kyi, who has lived under house arrest for 12 of the last 18 years. The monks' leaders are gone, left behind are the young and the old, and what the military may think are ineffectual. But the air of resistance remains here.
Monks are not afraid,
Not afraid?
and they stay in the monastery.
Will they come out of monastery?
Yes.
Will they come?
Yes. People and they together will start after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. They come back to the streets,
Yes.
protest.
Yes,
They're not afraid,
not afraid.
but shoot.
Shoot, they shoot and fight and strike.
But the people follow the monks. Follow the monks.
Follow the monks. All the people and monks.
And you will come out of monastery too? You will come?
Yes. I stay in Kepoman Gura. I stay.
So protest not finished? Not finished.
Not finished.
For sure?
Yes, sure.
So I'm walking up the road now to the Shwedagon Pagoda. This is about the first time in a week we've been able to do this. Before, the roads were blockaded with crude wooden and barbed wire devices behind which were armed police, and it was impossible to pass. This is one of the symbols of the resistance from the monks, and the police and the army wanted to stop that, but now it's open, and I suppose that's now indicative that the generals, the military junta, have got the situation under control to their liking, that they've got a degree of security now that no one else will come out and protest. I suppose this marks the opening of this road, marks the fact that this protest, this uprising for democracy, has been short but spirited, is probably over now.
Those streets which saw the violent protests are now empty of monks. For a very brief time they carried the spirit of a nation seeking justice and human rights, and they have paid a terrible price, and no matter what political agreements are made, what dialogue is followed, it's a price which will never be forgotten by the people of Myanmar.